Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and the New York Jets just tied it up with the Philadelphia Eagles to finish off the preseason. There's no overtime in preseason, and the Jets were down by 8 points, and James Morgan had an opportunity to tie up the game. We needed to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion somehow, some way. He needed to pull out some magic, and he throws up a Hail Mary at the end of the game with the clock expiring. Kenny Yeboah goes up there and grabs it, and then Josh Adams gets in for the 2-point conversion. What a way to finish off the preseason. There's a lot to get into in this recap video. So let's just jump right into it, guys. First, let's talk. It was a crazy finish, but we'll get into that. We're going to start from the beginning of the game. The first thing I want to talk about is definitely Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson made his Jets debut. He's the only veteran quarterback really on this roster right now for the New York Jets. And he looked pretty good in his first game. 7 for 8, 73 yards passing and 1 touchdown. The touchdown was a beautiful pass to Lawrence Cager in the back of the end zone, a nice fade route, and he just put it right where it needed to be. Josh Johnson had poise. You know, he's a veteran. He's been around the NFL. He's played everywhere, CFL, XFL, pretty much any league that's ever had professional football. Josh Johnson has played for them. So it's really awesome that Josh Johnson had an opportunity to show what he can do out there with the Jets offense. Obviously, we did not have the real starters out there. Zach Wilson sat down, Corey Davis, all the veterans really were not playing, including some rookies like Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Elijah Vera-Tucker. And on the defensive side of the ball, none of the really, sound veterans played, like C.J. Mosley, Marcus May, Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins. None of those guys played, which I agree with. I'm happy they did not play because of the weather going into this game. It was no reason to risk that. But Josh Johnson definitely looked pretty good, guys. I'm happy that Joe Douglas went out there and got a veteran quarterback. I feel like a lot of Jets fans were pounding the table for a veteran. I feel like we got one of Josh Johnson. He looks competent. He looks like a guy that can, orchestrate an offense. We don't expect Josh Johnson to do anything this year. Hopefully he doesn't even see the field once because that means Zach Wilson's healthy. But Josh Johnson definitely impressed me in his first game with the New York Jets. Now let's transition to another guy named Johnson, which is Ty Johnson, the running back. He got a lot of carries in this game. He looks really good, guys. Ty Johnson had a touchdown. He looks explosive out of the backfield. Is finding the holes. I feel like he's going to get a really big workload with the Jets this year. I know that the Jets are going to be, running back by committee approach. Tevin Coleman's a veteran. We got Michael Carter. We have Josh Adams, who played really well, and then LaMichael Pirine, who's battling a foot injury. So we'll see what happens on that front. But Ty Johnson looked really good in this game, as well as Josh Adams. Josh Adams looked very good. You also got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line in the run game. They were dominant. They were controlling the line of scrimmage all game, especially in the running attack. We started off the game with George Fant at left tackle, Morgan Moses at right tackle, Dan Feeney at left guard, and then Levin at the center, and then Murray at right guard. So that was our offensive line going out there, and they did a pretty solid job. I'm not going to complain. We did not have our starters out there. Other than, Moses or Fant, one of those guys will be the right tackles. But definitely love what I saw from the offensive line, opening up holes from the run game. I feel like we really showed that this is going to be a ground and pound approach for the Jets offense in the first half. For Ty Johnson to go out there, look pretty good. Michael Carter, he had a couple good runs, but he didn't really get a lot of carries in this game. The stars of the show in terms of the running game was definitely Ty Johnson and Josh Adams. And then the receiver side of things, Jeff Smith and Vincent Smith, they stood out to me the most. Jeff Smith had a bunch of end around that looked really, creative. You definitely expect that to be Elijah Moore when it's, in the regular season to get those types of handoffs around the edge. Jeff Smith has a lot of speed. Vincent Smith looked pretty good. Keelan Cole got some burn. Had a couple first down plays. And then Kenny Yeboah. How about Kenny Yeboah, guys? Wow, he had 2 touchdowns. One of them at the end of the game, which is pretty awesome. Also want to mention Lawrence Cager had a touchdown, and he had a pretty interesting play where he caught the ball, and the Eagle defender took it from him, and they called it an interception. They reviewed it, and they still said it was a pick. That was bogus. I do not agree with that call, but it's preseason. I'm not going to get too upset about it. But yeah, James Morgan, Kenny Yeboah, that they got a chemistry. They had 2 touchdowns together. Let's get into James Morgan's night first. So James Morgan, I know a lot of Jets fans are not fans of James Morgan, but I was impressed with him tonight. Did he light it up? Did he look like an absolutely stud quarterback? No, he had some missed throws. He had some, overthrows and some underthrows, but he had one throw in particular outside of the Hail Mary where he rolled to his left, threw an absolute dime to Kenny Yeboah on the run, flipping his hips looking like a very good, guy that can throw in the run. And not know he had that in him, throwing it like a nice 15, 20 yards down the field on the sideline to Kenny Yeboah. That was very impressive to me. And he also has a cannon of an arm. James Morgan, he lacks the accuracy that you want. He's very sporadic with his accuracy, but when he does, get that, ball where it needs to go, he has a cannon. The ball zips. You saw on that touchdown pass to Kenny Yeboah over the middle, it was wide open, and James Morgan put it right where it needed to be for him to walk right into the end zone. And then the Hail Mary, James Morgan rolling to his right, escaping pressure, steps up, throws an absolute cannon 50 yards down the field, right where Kenny Yeboah is. Kenny Yeboah goes up there in traffic, brings it in, makes it look easy. He catches it, and then everyone's around him like, what just happened? Oh, yeah, I just scored a touchdown, and we just potentially can tie the game after getting a point after. So that was great. The offense in general was awesome. I feel like it was a really good test for, Robert Saleh to understand how to manage the clock late in the game. Because remember, guys, Robert Saleh is indeed a rookie, just like Zach Wilson, just like all the rookies on the roster. He's a rookie head coach. So he needs to learn how to, call timeouts in proper situations, manage the clock. And I feel like he did a pretty good job doing that late in the game, putting this Jets team in a situation to go out there and tie up the game. You got to give the Jets credit to show that resilience factor. They did not treat this preseason game like it doesn't count. They wanted to get the reps. They want to get the mental approach as a coaching staff standpoint to understand what it takes to win in this league. Now let's transition into the defensive side of the ball. This was a little frustrating. The defense definitely has a difficulty stopping the run. I've noticed we lack penetration up front. And then again, guys, the starters were not out there. We were not having Quinnen Williams and Sheldon Rankins and CJ Mosley and Marcus May, the really, crucial pieces to this defense. The guys that were out there were rookies: Hamza Nasruddin, Jamian Sherwood, Bryce Hall, Bless Austin, had some burn, Bryce Huff, Foldy Fatukasi, who had a very good game, Nathan Shepard. But the defense, we had some missed tackles that turned into touchdowns. The first drive was inexcusable. Jamian Sherwood, he was man-to-man on the running back. I checked it down. He missed the tackle, which, was okay. You can't expect him to make every single tackle. But what was unfortunate was, I forgot who it was. Was it Hassel or – I know Campbell missed the tackle on the second touchdown. But that first touchdown, someone got absolutely just juked out of their shoes. And then Scott goes down for the touchdown. And then the second one, it was, Whiteside caught it over Isaiah Dunn, and then Elijah Campbell had an opportunity to tackle him, and then he just absolutely botches the tackle, walks in for the touchdown. Joe Flacco absolutely carved us up in that first half. Definitely not what you want to see, but Joe Flacco is a seasoned veteran, and he knows what to do. We know Joe Flacco pretty well. He's a Jets backup quarterback last year, but yeah, the defense did not really show up tonight in terms of, they struggle in stopping the run. I noticed that even when the starters were playing, so hopefully they can, adjust. And when Quinnen plays, it's going to be a different animal because we have yet to see him in preseason action. But other than that, the positives on defense, Foldy Fatukasi for sure. He was getting a lot of pass rush up the middle, and Foldy's not meant to be a pass rusher. His strength is stopping the run. I'm not saying he can't get to the quarterback, but that's not what he's known for. So it's cool to see him, getting that interior pressure up the middle and getting to the quarterback, which is awesome. But the Jets as a team, they lacked pass rush. I feel like that's why Joe Flacco lit us up. He was not getting pressured. He had all day to throw. And, that's a little concerning. But again, hopefully the Jets, draw up some schematic crazy blitzes. I know Hassel had a really good sack. So that's a really good exotic blitz that Jeff Ulbrich pulled off his sleeve. But overall, at the end of the game, the Jets defense definitely showed up. Pinnock made a couple plays. He did have a pass interference. Hamza Nasruddin. But in the second half, late in the game, the Jets defense needed to get a stop, and they did to get the ball back. And that's all you can ask for. And let's pivot to the special teams. Matt Amendola continues to thrive, being perfect. He did not miss one kick of preseason. I think he is going to be the kicker number one, as there's no other kicker on the roster. And then Braden Mann, man, you got to give credit to Braden Mann. He is a punter going into year 2, and he is a boot. He punts this ball with like 50, 60 yards down the field with ease. And it's very important to have a good punter on your squad. Field position is key. And I'm happy that we have a nice punter and a good kicker, it seems like, going into the season. And then kick return wise, Braxton Berrios had a nice punt return, but it did get negated due to a penalty. And yeah, guys, that's really it for the preseason for the New York Jets. We ended off on a high note. There's no overtime, so the Jets go out there and tie up the game. James Morgan, 2 touchdowns, both of them to Kenny Yeboah. Josh Johnson with the touchdown to Lawrence Cager. Ty Johnson had a really good a drive where he had, just absolutely feeding the rock, ground and pound. He got in the end zone of his own. Jeff Smith looked good. Vincent Smith looked good. Lawrence Cager looked good. Kenny Yeboah. This is a positive day for the New York Jets. Now it is going to be all about who's making the roster. So I'm going to make a video about my predictions on who's going to make the roster, who's not going to make the roster. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of this Jets game. This was an awesome finale. You cannot ask for more. For the Jets to go out and finish it off with a Hail Mary from Captain Morgan to Kenny Yeboah, and then for us to complete the two-point conversion, which we failed to do previously, to tie up the game. Shout out to the New York Jets. This was a great preseason. We go 2-0-1. And man, this was a great preseason, guys. Now the games will count next up. So leave a comment down below your thoughts of the preseason and like the video if you guys enjoyed. Comment down below also a Jet emoji if you stayed into the end. I appreciate all the love on Jets Media. At least it means a lot to me. Like I said before, next time the games will count. I'll catch you guys in my next video, and let's go.